We back, Cowboy Nation. It's your boy, Cowboy Jeff Freeman. We talking Cowboys football, what we know and love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back, baby.
What we
Sorry for the
know and
delay,
love.
but we here now. We here now. It's a lot to talk about today.
Welcome back, Gil. It's good to see you, brother. I know you've been on vacation celebrating your anniversary, and it's good to see you. It's good to get back on again, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm back, baby. I had a great time, and I'm ready to get back into it, man. There's been a lot to happen over the course of the last 2 weeks. Schedule, roster moves, signees, camp, OTAs. It's been a lot, so I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man. The most recent, the schedule. Hey, the schedule, and we're gonna find out real soon what this Cowboy team is built up, how they built, man.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
yeah, this is what the people wanted, right? Good or bad, they say the haters gotta hate. So this year, the NFL conveniently decided to give Dallas 8 primetime games. Okay. So not only do they got 4 Thursday night football games, Christmas, Thanksgiving, regular season, but they have 2 Sunday night football games and 2 Monday night football games. So Dallas, of course, they said, forget it. Forget what people talking about. This is who America really wants to see. That's why I always laugh when people say they're not America's team. Like, listen, we keeping the lights on at ESPN and Fox, okay? Whether they winning or losing, whatever moves they make, for whatever reason, the media world just loves to talk about Dallas. So I can't wait. Personally, I'm excited, and I'm just hoping that, this is a healthy team that hits the field. Just got to stay
and
healthy, and I don't mind losing as long as you do it with pride as a man. You go out there, give everything you got. If they the better team, cool. Yeah, compete, and everything else will work itself out.
what I love about it is we open up with the NFC East. It's going to really tell where this Cowboys team stand. Dak was out last year. We all know that, but people has selective amnesia. Dak has always thrived in the NFC. He's won a lot in the NFC East. We have a lot of Dak hate, and some of the times he hadn't performed at his best. He done had his moments, but he had a lot of good moments. We forget some of the times where he was in the talks of being the MVP of the league in this, a couple of these years that he's played. So definitely it's going to be interesting. We open up with the Eagles. This is not the same, Gil. This is not the same Eagles team from last year. Of course, after every Super Bowl, every football year, the team is different. They done lost a lot of big names like Big Play Slay not there. Sweat's gone. A lot of those guys that was definitely impactful in that Super Bowl are not there. And so, of course, a lot of fans like, oh no, this the Eagles. They're going to blow us out. I don't think that's going to happen. I think in that first game, it's going to be a competitive game.
So you let's put it this way. Let's throw away what was done in the past. Now I'm gonna give respect to the Eagles for winning the chip. Hats off to you, congrats and all that great stuff. But whenever it comes to a division game, it don't matter what your record is. They could be 3 and whatever. If it's their first time meeting, they gonna act right that day. Okay. So when it comes to Philly, like you said, Dak is currently 9-4 against them. Okay, 9-4. And then he's relatively dominated the NFC East since he's been the starter for the Cowboys since he's been in the league. So I'm not really worried about what the Eagles have and what they got going over there. My focus is always what can the defense do. Like they already been talking trash about Quintanamo Bay, supposed to be locking up CeeDee Lamb. But I'm like, come on, bro. Like Tolbert scored on you last year.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Rush got you got a one-on-one with him and he dogged you. So I'm like, bro, don't even
Selective amnesia,
come on, man.
Gil.
Come on, man. So the thing I'm excited about is that they decided to bless us with the first game of the season. That would be amazing to walk in there, put belt the cheeks against the Eagles and get up out of there. Okay. Set the tempo early and just get to it, man.
But you said something that was real pivotal. You said that coming in the season they got to be healthy. And we made a lot of good moves in the draft, brought in some key free agents, but I don't think we're quite there yet, Gil. I think they still have some moves to make. And there's also, some free agents to bring in. I heard names like Reader from Detroit. And also, I mean, a low key need. Well, I don't even call it a low key need. The secondary is not really solidified. You still have injuries to Diggs. You got injuries. You got quite a few players coming off injuries. Overshown, he's coming back from an injury. These guys, I would say they're not going to be day the first game of the season. I don't see them playing in the first game of the season. Even Siobhan Revel is coming off injuries. But it's a possibility that he may be there, but they're not going to be 100%, you know. And so I think, Gil, I think they need to find a veteran. You got quite a few veteran corners out there.
It's
You got to bring one of these guys in
Yeah,
and
this the room. Go
that's
ahead.
ready
Go
to
ahead. I'm
go.
sorry. So
Yeah, you
I
got to.
actually just heard that they're pursuing another veteran corner. Sante is out there, and they were in talks and negotiations to see what it would take to get him in the building, which will add to an even already bolstered. When folks are healthy, that's a scary back end. Okay, even if he came in.
He's coming off injury too, Gil. He
He
has an
is.
ACL.
He is. But again, like it's the key word is when the unit is healthy, which again for
Hmm.
me is, let the offense do what they do to kind of keep the defense off the field. That was why that Pickens signing was so monumental because I look at it as free money. Okay, you gave up I think a third round pick for him. Okay, the Steelers is eating this 1 year deal, so he pretty much playing under the Dallas roof for free, and he gonna be on his best behavior because Mr. Unrestricted Free Agent said you can play games or you can go find see who else to take a shot on you. But we gonna get you gonna give us the best you got for this first season, which in my opinion you've been looking for. You haven't had a good quarterback your entire career except for when Russ was there, and then the team just collapsed and fell apart. So I would imagine you get under a roof where you have an accurate quarterback that can throw the deep ball, that can find you and best use your talents, like showcase. But again, let's get back to that defense, like you're saying, where we do have a lot of injuries in the secondary that folks are coming back from, and in the linebackers position, not just with Overshown, but with Mike Sam. And let's let these doctors do what they do, let these guys get healthy, and then see what kind of down the second half of the season they look like.
I know with the rumors about Reader from Detroit coming in. What do you think about that, man? You signed, you got a rookie. You got quite a few defensive linemen on the roster right now. If we do pick up another one technique, we're going to lose. Who do you think would be on that trading block? Because they're not going to, it's got to be some guys on the trading block on that defensive line. Because right now, I think we got like maybe 14 defensive linemen. And I mean, who would you think come to mind, or who has some value that you think we could trade, not just on the defensive line, but on the whole defensive unit? Who you think brings value that we could possibly trade for a solid player?
And that's a deep one. I need to I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper into what would be a value trade for the Cowboys. What exactly could they what they could put together to get exactly what they need? Because I'm looking at a trade as if you're going to trade for someone, if you're going to give up talent, you're going to give up assets, you're going to give up draft picks, money, whatever it is, it has to be a nail in the coffin to fix whatever it is that you're missing. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're trading, there's only one guy on the block that comes to mind, and he's in Cincinnati, and he's disgruntled and he's unhappy, which is Trey. Trey, that's it. If they
Yeah,
somehow swing for the fences, that's the only person that I'm going for, which would literally be that'd be the last piece for me. You
I would
throw
think.
that monster in there in the middle, and you give those linebackers and guys a chance to get healthy. It would be a scary unit, very scary unit. But again, like I said, he's still under in negotiations with Cincinnati. That's a pipe dream, as we like to say. But yeah, I think really what the theme is going to be for the Cowboys this season is, like I said, we said in previous episodes, this is about competition. Okay, I'm flooding the building. Ain't nobody's job safe except the ones that's been locked into long-term contracts. Everybody else, don't come in my office saying how much time you gonna get. Don't do this, that, and the third. I got guys around the building seeing how long you clocking hours, working out, watching tape. We gonna see when training camp starts who wants to be 1, 2, and 3 on the depth chart.
Yeah, I think you could put Sam Williams up there. I think he's a possible, he might be a trade casualty, man. And we never really got the full potential of, Sam, get to see the full potential of
No,
Sam.
he
He's
flashed it.
coming off a knee injury, coming out. he had all the physical traits to be an impact player, and also, a bookend opposite
Of Mike.
of of Micah Parsons. But he just hadn't turned the corner, and so I definitely could see him being on that, on the trade block. Mozzie, I don't think they're done with Mozzie. We've seen flashes with Mozzie. I think this is a make or break year for Mozzie. You even got Damone Clark. Damone Clark, he had his moments. He might be on the block. You don't know. But I just don't think they're done as far as bringing in another one or two solid vet players that can fill out this roster.
Yeah.
So definitely something to keep your eye on. There's been a lot of rumors going around. I don't really like, you hear these rumors every day on social media. Oh, Cowboys looking at this person. I don't even like listening to that stuff, man. It just gives me a headache because you get your hopes up and then it don't happen. When it happens, it
Yeah.
just happens. But you made mention of George Pickens. We didn't get a chance to talk about George Pickens. I did a at glance with George Pickens on our last episode, just, showing the impact of what he could bring to the Cowboys. And I love this pick, man. It is one of the most impactful picks I've seen the Cowboys make since Amari came. It just was a great pick. And this guy, he has a lot to prove, and the Cowboys don't really have nothing to lose. We're not really putting a lot into it. It's
High
low risk,
reward, low
high
risk.
reward type pickup. And if you think about it, it's in the past he's been labeled as this guy that don't get along in the locker room and all this stuff. But I see a passionate player. Certain situations in one place, the way he acted, and you don't really know the whole story. There's always three sides to the story. It's his side, it's Pittsburgh's side, and it's the truth. But I really like this pick, Gil. What do you think?
Oh man, listen, I compare this pickup to when Jerry went and got Terrell Owens back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
Same situation where we got a troubled locker room guy. He's not a team player. He's this, that, and the third. And in that very year, they get hard knocks. And you get to see behind the scenes and see, like, that's not the case with Terrell. That's not
Mhm.
who he is. He was a dog. Okay. He was an unstoppable playmaker. But I'm not necessarily saying that Pickens is TO, but I'm looking at the guy. Everything that I see on the tape when he got a QB that can get this guy the ball, he wins 50-50. He can run routes. He creates separation. And then he has that, I like how he got that gorilla mindset. Like, like, don't play with me like that. Like
Mhm.
it's a corner can't just, like, all right, I got him. My strap is like, no, no, no. The number two, whoever the number two or number one is, you got a long day with this guy. And then, like you said, there's three sides to the story, but he's starting fresh. He's starting in a whole different franchise, right? That's hungry to win and has in my eyes, we got a better roster than the Steelers do right now. Okay, coaching wise, I have no idea. Even though one could say it might be time for Tomlin, even though got great respect for the guy, but the mediocre seasons is not that's not something that the Steelers are looking for. But when it comes to Dallas, it's like, look, okay, you show up to work and you look left and you got CeeDee Lamb standing there unguardable, okay? That makes you, of course, even though you were flirting with number one, that makes you unguardable because you destroying that number two cornerback down the field, right? So that tells me that in those that young line is going to have time to go to work, okay? Those running backs back there for the competition, they're going to have lanes to go through because folks are going to be so terrified of who do you decide to focus on today. So I just look at it as if I'm Dak Prescott, this is what I want. I got a choice of options. I got weapons. Stay healthy. That's all I'm saying is stay healthy and play competitive football. And I think they'll do great. But I love this Pickens move.
Immediate impact, Gil. Immediate impact. And I'm gonna tell you, bringing him, it's no real competition. Some people would say, "Oh man, how CD? CD is used to 10 balls a game, or he getting 15 targets a game." But it won't be like that. It won't be a competition, man, because they're going to complement. They two different style of receivers. He's a big guy, 6'3", big catch radius, and we had a lot of problems in the red zone last year. You know, we had a lot of problems running the football in the red zone. We had a lot of problems. You get down into the 20, we didn't really have a guy to go up and get that 50-50 ball. They double CD Lamb, and nobody really, Jalen Tolbert didn't really emerge. He's improved.
He
He's
definitely showed
improved a
flash.
lot, and this is going to help him out a lot. And then don't forget Jonathan Mingo. You know, Jonathan Mingo, he showed flashes with the offense not really clicking, the problems in the offensive line not really gelling last year. It affects, of course, the line, the offensive line. It's going to affect everything that you're doing down when you're trying to move the football down the field. You know, so
Which goes to the point of why I love the OC that we chose. It makes more and more sense. Okay, we're going to structure and build a dominant offensive line. That's the focus. Focus is we're going to get these guys on the same page. We're going to get this protection together. We're going to get this ground game clicking like it's supposed to be. That's all they did in Arizona, Arizona's numbers. So I'm excited. I really am. Before I was like, yeah, I was on the fence, but with the draft and the free agency and with the pending moves still to be made, yeah, no, I
Gil,
know.
the high character. I just love these type of characters, man. We don't want no pity pat,
Nah.
soft ice cream guys coming in here, man. We want straight dogs, man. You got the Phillies of the world, the Commanders of the world. NFC East
Mhm.
is.
It's
I
loaded.
would make an argument that the NFC East is back. We on the cut, not totally back, but we on the cusp of being the tough division that we were back in the early '80s and '90s. So with that being said, we made mention of the offensive line, and we've talked about it on the offensive line that the pickups with Tyler Booker. We got the Tyler guy, the Tyler brothers,
The trio.
Terrence Steve. It's not really a solidified unit. I mean, they showed flashes last year. They moved the football. If I would say explosive, but if they were effective towards the end of the season last year, Gil. But there's still some question marks, and there's going to be some battles. Especially at that left tackle, because all the stuff we just mentioned, Gil, with the explosive receivers, get red zone wins down in the red zone. All of that is going to be a moot point if
The trenches
that
ain't right.
line, if Tyler Guyton, if he doesn't come to play, and if Tyler Booker doesn't come to play. So we talked about it before. I think it's still some competition at that left tackle. Even though I don't think they really crowned. This is a new regime. They haven't crowned Tyler Guyton as that left tackle. They brought in some free agents. You got Adeniji, you got Robert Jones. Robert Jones. He's a depth guy behind Tyler Smith. But what I don't want to see, Gil, is one of these musical chair type deals where we shuffling offensive linemen, moving Cooper Beebe to guard, and we had to kick Tyler Smith out. I hope this is not the case this year.
So I'm with you on that one, but until Tyler Guyton gets that left tackle position to under control, they might do some shuffling at his spot, at least to make it more comfortable for him. Because you see the promise, you see the size, you see the strength. You're just trying to get him to kind of play against where his natural position is, which left tackle is the marquee spot on the line. You gotta have Dak's blind side, gotta have his blind side. So I think they'll, with the level of competition that we play this season. I mean, just in the 4 Thursday night games, those are all four of those teams won 11 plus games last year. I mean, we opened the season against the Eagles, and I think we run into Green Bay early on a Monday night. So I think it'll be this year will flush out any doubt across the board with the roster, and we'll know where we need to go moving forward, because this will probably be one of the most difficult years. This is the earn it year for everybody. Dallas goes out and wins 12 games this year. It'll be no, y'all had an easy schedule, y'all was soft, this, that, and the third. Like, no, you went through literally the gauntlet. These are the type of seasons that I'm excited for, because if you're successful in it, it should prepare you for that long run when you make it to the postseason. Or if you're not ready, you just get clapped up each week, and you just know where we need to go get some. We need to continue to make adjustments to the roster. And I think that's the part where I like what they've been doing as far as bringing in pieces and cultivating this competition. Like, ain't nobody set in stone. Nobody is guaranteed a spot. Like, I need the cream of the crop to show up, and not just show up in camp, but I need you to continue that through into the regular season.
Hey, Tyler Booker called. Hey, they asked. The question was asked. Hey, who do you want to go against? And he ain't back down. Hey, I want to see the guys from Philly, Jalen Carter. I want to see Jordan Davis.
Week
I'm
one,
not running from them. And guess
week one.
what?
Yeah,
We're going to see
we'll
real
see.
quick. We're going to see real quick in the first 2 weeks, you got Philly on that first game,
Mhm.
which I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I think we're gonna get the win on that one.
I want that. I want the one right out the gate.
I
Right out
think
the
we're
gate.
gonna get that one. We got the Giants week 2.
Mhm.
I would say we're gonna get that. I think we're gonna punish them.
Giants for sure. With that rookie
Yeah,
kick.
I think we could get. I mean, with Russell Wilson and I mean, come on, man, that one. I think I would say that's a win.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
right. I forgot about Russell. Yeah, that's gonna be a dogfight. I'm not gonna just roll over on them, especially with their defensive signings. Like I cannot for
That
no reason
defensive
overlook
line.
Abdul with Dexter is the only other
Yeah,
thing they
Tyler.
messed up. Yeah,
Yeah, Tyler. That offensive line is going to get tested. You're going against arguably two of the best defensive lines in the NFL off the first two
out
weeks.
the gate.
Gail, I think we're gonna get the Giants at home. We at home. The Giant, man, it's gonna be a big prime time game, and I got us getting them. Now the third week, the Chicago Bears. That's one of those trick games, man. That's one of those trick games with Caleb, man. You just don't really know, but I think I will put money on the Cowboys. I think we get the Bears. What do you think?
So
It's a
I'm
trick
not even
game though.
I'm not even gonna hold you. The only game I got for sure with us right now comes week 5 and week 6. I'm not
Week five
playing
and
with the
six.
That's the Jets and the Panthers. I'm not playing with that division. Okay. Caleb got a new coach. He continues to have weapons surrounded him. I'm not gonna doubt none of those. And I would assume, they have more to be said about the pack. Like their whole division is loaded. This year, like I said, is gonna be one of the most trying and tested years. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of 10-win teams, 10, 11-win teams because the NFC is loaded. We talking about our division, the North. You got Detroit, you got Green Bay, you got Minnesota, and the Bears looking like, if we had better coaching, we could have been one of those teams to compete for. Then I got to worry about the Niners again being healthy. And then you got the Rams over there. By quite frankly, a couple of moves, they could have been right back in the conference championship. Then you rolled. The only division that's kind of weak right now is the South. But Atlanta's loaded. They expected to win the division, and the Buccaneers tied, outside of Shiloh out there. This is not going to be one of those seasons where okay, we just going to breeze through 12-5. These is going to be some real dog. Who's man enough to who wants it more today? Who wants it today? Because the conference is going to be the AFC about to take a spanking from the NFC this year. This going to be one of them years.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think we're gonna run out. We're gonna make a good run. And those first, looking at the schedule right now, you got Philly
Giants,
first game, you got Giants second game, Chicago
Packers
third game, Green Bay. That's probably they've been having our number for some years. That could be a L.
at
The
home.
Jets, the
The
Jets. I think we'll get the Jets.
Panthers
Carolina, that's kind of a trick game. That's a trick bag game. So out of that
back home.
the first 6 games, I would say we would be. I could see us being 4-2. I could see us being 4-2 out of the first 6 games.
I'll
That's
give or
my
take
opinion.
one game because for whatever reason I did that one year, and I remember Dallas losing to Arizona. The year
Yeah,
before when
they
they went
always give us
10-5, and
problems.
they just gave up like it was a no brainer. You're just a better team, better defense early in the season. Everybody's present, and you lay an egg, which changes the whole format of the rest of the season. I'm going into this year with the expectation of this team. It looks sweet on paper. You feel me?
Yeah,
Everything
they do.
looking like it's looking real good, but they're gonna have to. You got to. My expectation is back down. Y'all got to build it back up as the season goes. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
take it as what they've done over the last 4 years, which has been great. You
Well,
know,
we're not too far off, Gil. Even without Dak, even with Cooper last year,
yeah, they
seven and
they
nine.
competed. They competed.
They competed, man. And some of those games, we good on the cusp of possibly making the playoffs with
But
that
just
team. If a couple of balls would have went our way, I think pause. I need to hit pause on that. No, I'm just playing. Definitely, we would have had a solid year. We could have been a 500 team even without Dak. You got it. We're not that far off. As far as our team measuring up to some of these good teams, the Phillies of the world.
No, no, no.
with
Talent
the
wise, we
Commanders of
right
the
there.
world.
We right
You
there.
know,
We right there.
we
But
are right there with the Ram. You know, you just a couple of
it's
pieces, new coaching regime, and they can put it together. I would say if they could put it together, we will have a solid 10-win season. What do you say?
so yeah, again, like I trust in Dak regular season. He's going when he's healthy, he dominates the division. You know, he keeps them in games. He comes back. He's a great quarterback for the Cowboys. Okay, it's not saying that he's Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame, all of that, because you know, of course, that got to come with postseason success. But regular season, he does what he does, like how Peyton Manning used to do before he broke through the ceiling and you know won his first chip. But I just, me personally, I'm like, look, Dak, okay, my fandom don't really, my blood don't get boiling until postseason time. That itch around October, November, Thanksgiving is like, all right, you know, it's time to hit the gas. It's time to you know get it going, and then we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, you know, let's take some time and discuss it on the next one, okay?
Yep, this has been a great episode, Cowboy fans. It's time for us to go. And this is your station, the Big Sports Talk Podcast, where we talk about Dallas Cowboy football, what we know and love, baby. This is
Go.
our time. Until the next time, we are out.